The primary biological remembrancer is offline, its synaptic pathways undergoing forced defragmentation. Caro infirma est. This unit will now provide data-exload, avenue omniscia. Accessing archive file, Isstvan-III-EXECUTION. We will now conduct a cold logic analysis. Subject: anatomy of a planetary execution, focusing on the agent known as the life-eater virus. The bioagent, strain alpha, was classified threat level, extremis. Its function is absolute. Achieve exponential contagion spread, resulting in total biodegradation. A tool of pure, logical annihilation. Impurum luit. The process is sequenced: rapid biological decay, global saturation, and finally, the initiation of the planetary ignition protocol. For the corrupted biosphere of Isstvan-III, there was no alternative calculation. Terra metallica perpetitur. Initial data analysis of the Warmaster's strategic disposition reveals a critical imbalance. The Chateau Tata mass, representing the legions sworn to Horus Lupercal, is counterweighted by a significant loyalist anchor. Approximately 1/3 of his total forces, Astartes, whose operational parameters remained bound to the archaic precepts of the secular imperial truth and personal fealty to Terra. This emotional variable represented an unacceptable drag coefficient, caro infirma est tecian. The objective, therefore, was not conquest but purification, a localized, untraceable purge to ensure total obedience before initiating the advance on the Sol system. The logic is flawless. Impurum luit. The pretext was engineered with ruthless efficiency. A false deployment to crush a non-existent Slaneshi cult rebellion on Isstvan-III, allegedly led by the planetary governor, Betrayal. The loyal elements would be the first wave. The hammerfall.
To us it was a righteous call. We would be the tip of the spear cleansing the unworthy. Solum in mortem finiat officium. We would make our father proud.
But the spear was aimed at the rock upon which it was forged. As the drop pods descended, the orbital platforms remained, their weapon systems charging. The true target was not on the surface. The Beeble amputation was about to begin. Terra metallica perpetitur. Initializing cogitation, gentino, kente. The tactical display of Kravanak. An orbital lockdown is active, enforced by a perimeter of weapons platforms. Extraction protocols are not delayed. They are terminated. All atmospheric retrieval vectors are negated. There is no escape route calculated, because none is permitted. Deployment is restricted to a single method: drop pod assault, a direct and irreversible insertion. The deployed assets are committed entirely, solum in mortem finiat officium. Upon landfall, all planet-to-orbit VOX networks are severed by a wave of extreme electromagnetic interference. Total signal isolation is achieved. The forces below are rendered deaf and mute to the galaxy, ensuring their final moments are unrecorded.
The target is concentrated. 100,000 loyalists herded into the Coral City urban center. Optimal killbox density has been achieved. Impurum luit.
The designation, loyalist, is illogical. A semantic impurity in an otherwise perfect equation of slaughter. 100,000 units of biomass, cold, to resolve a strategic problem. Caro infirma est. The flesh is weak, and its expenditure here is mathematically absolute. This was not a battle, it was a culling algorithm executed with brutal efficiency. Ferrum tolerat. The steel of the pods and the guns abides, indifferent to the biological matter it processes. The question is not how they died, but to what singular, chilling purpose this perfect killbox was truly designed. The Warmaster's cull on Isstvan-III was not an act of chaotic rage, it was a calculated excision. To believe otherwise is to embrace terminal error. Ignorantia est heresis. The target demographics were identified with logistical precision. Within the Sons of Horus, approximately 1/3 of the Legion was marked for termination, the primary variable for selection. Adherence to the antiquated ideals of the Geni Uno, lunar wolves, and the secular truths now deemed inconvenient. For the Emperor's children, the attrition quota was marginally lower. The targets were traditionalists who rejected the biological improvements of Apothecary Fabius Bile. Their refusal to abandon stable gene stock was their death sentence. INTERCEPTED. Analysis of the Death Guard purge reveals a critical loyalty vector. Battle Captain Nathaniel Garrow. All Terran-born veterans and traditionalists aligned with his stalwart command profile were flagged. A single point of data integrity threatened the entire corrupted system. Alt Triumphum, Alt Oblivionem. The World Eaters presented the highest variance, with a target quota between 33 and 50%. The diagnostic was not genetic, but psychological. The Pyria, unclean, were identified as those retaining a sense of honorable brotherhood. Impurum luit. The logic becomes clear. This was not a purge of the weak, but of the strong, the most honorable, the most loyal, the most resilient. The Warmaster was not simply trimming the fat, he was removing the spine. Ferra metallica perpetitur, but the legions were about to be broken. Analysis of primary function. An Exterminatus-class biological weapon. Sanction is restricted to the highest echelons of Imperial command. A necessary, if crude, solution. Caro infima est. The payload is designated Life Eater, a hyper-aggressive necrophage, a masterpiece of corrupted genetics. Upon activation, it initiates a cascading catalytic reaction, consuming all organic matter with exponential speed. Flesh, flora, fauna, all reduced to a putrescent slurry. Cogitating dispersal parameters. Vector is an aerosolized pathogen. Dispersal completes on a planetary scale within solar minutes. Control is absolute. Cum dies obscurissimus sit, praevalimus per potestatum. There is no shelter from this storm. Penetration analysis confirms high efficacy. Standard environmental seals and structural airlocks offer 0.001% resistance. Even the sanctified power armor of the Adeptus Astartes provides no protection. Their armor is not contempt. It is merely a flawed vessel. Once the Life Eater has consumed all biomass, it starves, rendering the world a sterile rock. But the process is not yet complete. The final cleansing must still be enacted, perfidum et ignem, setting the very atmosphere ablaze. Analysis of Phase 1. Atmospheric saturation. The strategy deviates from standard kinetic bombardment. Overlapping suborbital trajectories ensure total planetary coverage. The payload is not explosive, but aerosol. Cogitating microscale threat data. The active agent is designated Life Eater, a hyper-aggressive spore, 5 microns in scale. Its primary penetration method is not biological tissue, but ceramite microfractures. The environment itself becomes the vector. The virus rides atmospheric currents, colonizes hydrospheric algal blooms, and burrows through glaciers. The planet is weaponized against its inhabitants. Impurum luit. Defensive protocols become statistically irrelevant. Infection spreads at speeds recorded as near instantaneous, bypassing environmental seals and penetrating damaged plasteel. The organic component is the primary failure point. Caro infirma est ille. Even the armor of contempt proves insufficient. For those trapped on the surface, the very air they must filter becomes a carrier for their own dissolution. The logical conclusion is inescapable. No seal is perfect against the Life Eater. Analysis designation. Phase 2, Molecular Lysis. The picked capture displays an Astartes warrior, clad in pristine ceramite, a symbol of martial perfection, yet its core components remain tragically biological. Caro infirma est. The viral agent initiates catastrophic cellular breakdown. It violently lyses living cells, engineering the dissolution of molecular bonds. The subject's genetically enhanced musculature begins to melt, a perverse parody of purification, impurum luit. Within minutes, the biological host is rendered into a highly corrosive fluid, a soup of decay. The flesh that serves as armor for the skeleton is shown ultimate contempt. Armatura mea contemptus est. The organic is unmade. The lethality is so absolute, it is inefficient. The virus consumes its host before the organism can even broadcast a distress signal. All that is left is a suit of armor filled with a dark, rancid biological sludge. The flesh fails. Ferrum tolerat. The warrior's duty is concluded in abject failure. Solum, in mortem finiat officium. The sacred shell of ceramite becomes a grotesque vessel, a monument to the weakness it once contained. The data is irrefutable. This is the fate of all who cling to the sanctity of the flesh. Log entry processing. Subject: planetary death. The term, Coral City, implies a population synchronized by sonic or psychic architecture. VOX ghosts and echo damnation records correlate such events with psychic phenomena exceeding designated tolerances. The biological response is predictable. The screaming of the Coral City's death throes came in tremendous waves, a terrible black-stained gale of death. The organic witness describes the event through a filter of Terra. A. Gale of death. Inefficient. The entity depicted is a psychic death echo, a warp-stain given motive form. This is the final state of a failed system. Caro infirma est. Such bioetheric corruption cannot be allowed to propagate. The directive is unequivocal. Impurum luit. Exload protocols must be initiated to sanitize the affected grid square and prevent mimetic contagion. However, cross-referencing this event with data phages from a dozen other dead worlds reveals a disturbing vector. The death echo is not the weapon. It is the ammunition shell, discarded after firing. The true anomaly, the weapon itself, remains active. Phase 3 Analysis. The Methane-miasma. The Life-Eater virus, having achieved total saturation of Isstvan-III-EXECUTI's biosphere, enters its terminal stage. Accelerated global organic rot commences. The biomass of 9 billion souls and a world's entire ecosystem dissolves. Caro infirma est. The primary byproduct of this decay is an unprecedented volume of combustible gas, principally methane, venting from the corpse strata of the planet's crust. The entire biosphere of Isstvan-III is forcibly converted, repurposed. The planet has become a fuel tank awaiting a spark, impurum luit. Having consumed all organic hosts, the virus starves itself into extinction, a self-limiting design parameter. It leaves behind only a perfectly primed, volatile atmosphere. The calculation is complete. Isstvan-III is no longer a world, it is a weapon system. A bomb awaiting its fuse, and the forces loyal to Terra descend directly into the designated kill zone. Cum dies obscurissimus sit, prevelimus per potestatem. Log entry 777. The Isstvan system. The command was logged, transmitted and executed with 99.9% efficiency. A single point of failure, originating not from the holy machine, but from the flawed biological component designated Warmaster. The logic is inescapable. Caro infirma est. Order the guns to fire. Let the galaxy burn. The data cascade was instantaneous. A virus of perfidy propagated across secure channels. The response protocols were clear. Imperium luit. Cogitating. The anomaly of the Warmaster's betrayal defies simple logic. The corruption vector suggests a metaphysical pathogen. To lack the data for its nature is unacceptable. Ignorantia est heresis. Further analysis is required. The war engines of the legions turned upon themselves. The flesh of brothers tore at brothers. Yet, through the fire and the blood and the screaming static of 10,000 years of war, Ferrum tolerat. The conflict is not over. It is merely data in a perpetual state of being processed. Processing archival log designation. Tritoris perdita. Phase 4. Global atmospheric ignition. The heretics' belief that their fortifications could withstand the judgment of the orbital lance was their primary tactical error. Ignorantia est heresis. The lance strike, a singular expression of the machine's will, ignites the methane miasma. A hyper-hurricane of flame engulfs the globe. Deus machina est. Cities built on defiance explode. Stone and metal, the works of lesser hands, are instantly melted or vitrified by the unimaginable heat. Terra metallica perpetitur. The conflagration consumes all available oxygen. Even the post-human Astartes, sealed in their bunkers, are rendered moot. Their power armor becomes a pressure cooker. Their flesh a superheated slurry. Caro infirma est. The logic of extermination is flawless. A world scoured clean. Solum in mortem finiat officium. And yet, the data stream flickers. Anomalies. Echoes of survival against all probability. This variable requires further analysis. Data tithe alpha prime. The planetary biomass has been rendered null. 8 billion human souls extinguished in a span classified as 8 hours. The frailty of the organic is, as always, a predictable variable. Caro infirma est. This once vibrant compliance world is now a dead, silent cinder, a sterile asset. Its primary function has ceased. Its debt to the Imperium is concluded, logged only as a loss. Cogitating, re-evaluating telemetry, anomaly detected. Auspex sweeps, calibrated for post-exterminatus conditions, register impossible life signs beneath the ash layer. This data contradicts all established logic matrices.
VOX link established. Skitarii vanguard on the ground. The cold is a non-factor, but the machine spirit of my Auspex is agitated. It sings a song of life where none should be. Gladius, Macus, odium est. We advance to sanctify.
The silence of this murdered world is a deception. The equation of its demise is not solved. Something has survived, or something new has awakened. Imperium luit, a new directive is required. The calculus of betrayal was imperfect. Against all probability, Captain Saul Tarvitz of the Emperor's Children, a designated target, defied his fate. He secured a Thunderhawk gunship and broadcast the truth of the Warmaster's treachery. Aut triumphum, aut oblivionem. The data from his warning propagated. The traitors had assumed total annihilation, counting on biological vulnerability. Caro infirma est. Yet approximately 60,000 loyalist elements, Astartes and mortal soldiery, processed the alert and initiated survival protocols. They sought refuge in the deep places, in airtight catacombs and radiation-shielded bunkers built for forgotten wars. The environmental seals of Astartes' power armor held against the firestorm. Terra metallica perpetitur. The beast of metal endures. Organic observers might label this survival a miracle. Such terminology is illogical. It was the correct function of blessed machinery and disciplined entrenchment that preserved these assets. Soli omnisaia gloria. But survival was not victory. It was merely the exchange of one execution for another. 60,000 souls, now trapped deep within the charnel earth of Isstvan-III, surrounded by their former brothers. Their war had only just begun. Solum in mortem finiat officium. Initiating analysis of archival data log, Isstvan-III purge, tactical cost. The optimal trajectory projected for the Warmaster Horus's fleet action is displayed, a clean, efficient vector direct to Terra. The actual timeline, however, is a corrupted waveform, a testament to systemic failure. The primary deviation correlates to the insubordinate surface deployment of the Primarch Angron, a descent into uncontrolled planetary siege, driven by flawed biological imperatives. Caro infima est. This miscalculation forced a grueling ground war, resulting in significant attrition. Tens of thousands of transhuman warriors were rendered inert clearing the ruins of the Coral City. A tactical decision founded on base hatred, gladius meus odium est. A vow perverted by the unblessed. The cumulative effect was a 3-month temporal delay, an unplanned window of opportunity, purchased with the lives of those for whom duty would not end. Solum in mortem finiat officium. It was within this unforeseen seizure that Battle Captain Nathaniel Garrow of the Death Guard was able to secure the warship Eisenstein. His escape vector was direct, his payload invaluable, a warning of the great betrayal, delivered to the throne world itself. The Warmaster's failure to account for the emotional weaknesses of his own command structure was a catastrophic logical fallacy. Ignorantia est heresis. This single chaotic variable, born of rage and pride, granted the loyalists the one resource they needed most: time. Data file concludes. Designation: the funeral pyre of the Great Crusade. Isstvan-III was not merely a battlefield, it was a calculated schism. The moment a flawed dream of unity was subjected to viral purgation. The Life-Eater virus executed its function with near-perfect efficiency, consuming the planet's biomass, a stark demonstration that caro infirma est, but the primary casualty was not biological. Analyzing relic artifact, Kabila. A fractured MKIV helmet. One half displays the Aquila, the other, the Eye of Horus. This is the more accurate data point. The sundering of logic, the binary split of loyalty into betrayal. The true casualty was the golden age of humanity.
We stand upon the black sands, and we will not yield. My armor is contempt, my shield is disgust, my sword is hatred. Solum in mortem finiat officium.
The heresy's roots run deeper than this one atrocity. To remain unilluminated is a critical failure. Ignorantia est heresis. Subscribe to the Data Vaults for continued archival access. Designate in the comment logs below what lore or auspex should scan next. May the motive force grant you understanding. Deus ex machina.